First, check the thermostat, make sure it's mounted properly and it is working. Set it to cool. Then we check the filter, make sure the filter is clean and there is a filter in there. If not, we change it. Next, we want to check for the contactor, see if there's any voltage drop, in which everything on this one appears to be fine. We're also going to check our low voltage, make sure that we're getting at least 24 volts. And we are. Next, we want to do the amped draws on the compressor and the fan. Make sure they are within specs. And we're going to look over the system and see if we see anything. Oh, look, found a bad wire. We're going to check behind the defrost board. We're going to check for any burn marks on there. We're also going to check the low voltage wiring, make sure everything is connected well. Then we're also going to check the disconnect here. We're going to check all the lugs, make sure all the lugs are tight. In which they are a little bit loose, but we got them tight. We're going to also check the contactor and make sure they are snug. Just be careful not to over snug them because those contactors do break. We're going to check the capacitor here. Right now we're going to leave that wire on there, but we are going to change that. But let's go ahead and check this capacitor out first to make sure it's within specs. You could always leave the common on there. You don't need to remove the common. We're going to check between common and Herm, which we have 50. Let's see if we got something close to 5. And we do. We're going to walk around, look for anything visibly off, which we can see some buildup there on the condenser coil of some dirt. I could also see the armor flex is missing on the copper line. We're going to put our gauges on there. We're going to check our pressures, make sure our pressure is good, checking superheat and subcooling, as well as the temperatures and pressures. Which this is an old R22 system, but it's doing what it can. Also, we like to make sure that we vacuum out the drain line. And we're also going to be priming that drain line and chemically cleaning it as well. There's a little bit of gunk that came out. Not too bad. I've seen a heck of a lot worse. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, get all this grime that's on there, dust, cobwebs, dirt buildup. Of course, we want to make sure the power is off on this so we do not short anything out. You always want to be careful with that brush. It does have metal on there, and that metal can short something out. It's starting to look a little bit better. Alright, we're going to pull the top off. As you can see, lots of leaves in there. Gather them out, throw them out, and then we're going to rinse this thing down. Still some leaves in there, bunch of dirt in there. Going to try to flush this out the best we can without pulling the cage off of this and lifting up the coil, which this is a split coil. It's a little bit difficult to get that stuff out. We're going to rinse it from the outside as well. There's a bunch of leaves, mostly on the bottom of this condenser coil. But we're going to do our best to get those off. And of course, we don't want to put too much pressure on that because we do not want to bend the fins. It takes a little time, but it helps that condenser breathe. drain line. Try to clear that out a little bit. It's also priming it at the same time, which we already did. And just giving another rinse down here. Clean up the area a little bit. Looks much better, huh? Now we're going to the inside. We're going to check the air handler. Already I noticed that there is no auxiliary drain pan. There is no float switches. And there's no way to pour water except through that little pipe that you see going down, which is actually the hole where you would have a float switch. So I'm going to have some recommendations here at the end of this. Alright, now we're just checking the fan amps on this. Just make sure they're within specs. And they are. As you can see, this cabinet is pretty disgusting. Blower board has been bypassed and a relay added here. We did test the heat strips to make sure they worked. And as you see, this coil is pretty old and rusty, and as well as the blower wheel and inside of the cabinet. We're going to check the coil, see what the coil looks like, and which is actually not too bad. Also, we're going to check the panel here, make sure the breakers are the correct size, and which they both are the correct size. Don't forget to check your temperature differential. And these are the recommendations. Thermostat being placed on the wall properly. Next, you notice that it's missing the float switches and the drain pan. We go ahead and add the float switch and a clean out tee, as well as the drain pan float switch. And we fixed the wire as well. Everything looks pretty good here. Armor Flex we added to the outside, as well as spray foam to chase. Don't forget to check the ductwork as well. Make sure there's no holes, no leaks, no mildew. Just check it out. Make sure it's all good as well. If you like these videos and would like to see more, maybe consider subscribing and liking and sharing these videos with others. I appreciate you guys. Thanks.